Picture this. You're standing before an ancient city, a fortress. Its walls are massive, the gates are locked down tight, and you can see defenders on high alert. This is Jericho, and by all accounts, it's absolutely impenetrable. So, how in the world do you conquer a place like this?
Okay, so this is where it gets a little weird. The battle plan is, well, it's not what you'd expect. You're told to march your army in total silence around the city, once a day for 6 days straight. No battering rams, no siege towers, nothing. Just priests, soldiers, and the Ark of the Covenant. Then, on the 7th day, you do 7 laps, the priests blow their horns, and everybody just shouts.
I mean, that's the big question, isn't it? It sounds less like a military strategy and more like some kind of strange ritual. How on earth could marching in circles and yelling bring down massive, fortified stone walls? It just seems to defy all logic.
And yet, here's the crazy part. That is exactly what happened. The Israelites followed this bizarre plan to the letter, and the incredible defenses of Jericho literally crumbled. This story is, of course, one of the most famous biblical battles. But when you look at it with a modern eye, it's this fascinating puzzle of strategy, leadership, and faith that, believe it or not, holds lessons for us even today.
So to really unpack this puzzle, we're going to turn to a really fresh analysis from the book Biblical Battles and Military Strategies by Chaplain Shaul B. Danyiel. He suggests that we should look at these ancient stories not just as, historical or religious texts, but as these profound case studies in leadership.
Now, what makes this so compelling is the author himself. I mean, think about this background for a second. Chaplain Danyiel has spent over 2 decades in the U.S. Army, serving as an infantry sergeant in the 82nd Airborne before he became a chaplain. He's also an Orthodox Rabbi, so you've got this incredible dual perspective, the boots-on-the-ground soldier and the spiritual leader, which gives him this really unique way of analyzing these events.
And this right here is his core idea in action. He looks at each battle through 2 different lenses at the same time. So on the left, you've got mission command. That's the U.S. Army's modern leadership doctrine. And on the right, you have spiritual analysis, which is a framework built on timeless Torah values like Emunah, that's faith, and bitachon, which means trust.
As Danyiel says himself, the whole point is to create a dialogue. By putting these 2 worlds side by side, we can start to uncover these deeper, universal lessons about leadership and what it really takes to succeed when the stakes are sky high. And these are lessons that, apply just as much in a modern office as they did on an ancient battlefield.
All right, so the best way to see how powerful this framework is to actually apply it. We're going to look at 2 battles that happened right after each other. That incredible victory at Jericho, and then a totally shocking defeat that happened right after, at a place called Ai. And wow, the contrast between these 2 could not be more dramatic. Jericho was this unbelievable success against impossible odds, all because of perfect alignment. But then, literally right after, the Israelites attacked the city of Ai, which was way smaller, should have been an easy win, and they get completely routed. Their confidence is just shattered. So what happened? What went so wrong? Well, this dual-lens framework gives us the answer. So let's look at Jericho. Everything just clicked. From a mission command point of view, you had incredible mutual trust between the leader, Joshua, and all the people. I mean, they trusted this crazy plan. Their disciplined initiative was shown not by fighting, but by not fighting, by just marching in silence. And the commander's intent was crystal clear. This victory was going to come from a higher power, not from their own swords and shields. And that lined up perfectly with the spiritual principle of Emunah, that deep, unshakable faith. Their actions were a literal expression of it.
But then we get to Ai, and it's a total train wreck. The analysis shows a complete breakdown on both sides. A hidden sin by one soldier had broken the spiritual covenant, which shattered the foundation of mutual trust. And that led directly to military failures. Poor competence, because the leaders got arrogant, they relied on bad intel, they didn't even consult their higher command, in this case God. Spiritually, their bitachon, their trust, was totally misplaced. They weren't trusting in divine guidance anymore. They were trusting in their own recent success.
And this really gets to the heart of it, the commander's intent. This is a huge concept in modern military strategy. It's basically the why behind the mission. At Jericho, the intent was divine, and it was clear. Victory through obedience. But at Ai, the intent was human, and it was flawed. Just go take an easy target. And that one little shift, from a divine focus to a human one, was catastrophic.
So what this all really shows is that these aren't just old war stories. They're basically masterclasses in leadership.
They highlight principles that are just as critical for a CEO, a project manager, or, a community organizer today as they were for a general thousands of years ago.
And the scope here is massive. The book of Joshua sums up the entire conquest with this one simple, powerful number: 31 kings defeated. Daniel's framework helps us understand the kind of leadership that made a campaign like that even possible. It wasn't just about winning a single battle, it was about building a whole culture of success. So, what are the big takeaways for any of us who lead? Well, first, trust is everything. It is the bedrock. You can't do anything without it. Second, you've got to make sure everyone is on the same page, that they share an understanding of the mission. Third, you want to empower your people to take initiative, but it has to be disciplined and always aligned with that ultimate goal. And finally, you can't be afraid to accept smart risks, because true courage, when it's guided by wisdom and a clear purpose, that's where the real breakthroughs happen.
In the end, this whole framework really challenges us to take another look at the stories we thought we knew. It's asking us to dig a little deeper, to search for those patterns and timeless truths about leadership, about failure, and about faith that are hiding just beneath the surface, waiting for us to rediscover them. Makes you wonder, what other lessons are just waiting there for us?